is Hockey Night in Rochester as we welcome you inside the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where tonight RIT will take the ice in search of its first win of the season against RPI. Number 30, Logan Drackett, will get the start in net for the Tigers tonight. The freshman coming off a 41-save performance against Northeastern last Saturday. We'll see if he can match that remarkable debut when the puck drops in about 35 minutes from now. You are watching RIT SportsZone Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builders. And over the next half hour, we'll recap last night's tough loss for the Tigers. We'll talk live with RPI head coach Dave Smith, and we'll check in to see if the RIT women's hockey team could snap its 3-game skid against Yale. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach, and we are so glad you could join us here tonight for RIT SportsZone Pregame Live on the new home of Tiger Hockey, CW Rochester, and RITSC.com. Well, after a spirited effort in the opener against Northeastern last week, you would have thought the Tigers would have come out last night flying high against a winless Union team, but instead the Tigers were flat, and the Dutchman dictated play from the very beginning. The junior, Christian Short, he got the start for the Tigers, his first start since January 21st at Canisius last season. The Dutchman tested Short and company early, just 3.5 minutes in off the line change. Greg Campbell catches the Tigers going 5-hole on Short, unassisted, to give Union a 1-0 lead. Later in the period, strange play here. Tigers killed off the penalty, but Union catches a break as Brett Sapinski throws it at the net. A bad angle somehow goes in, gives Union a 2-goal lead. Just moments later, Union on the attack again. Jack Adams to freshman Joseph Campolito, his first of the season, and Union was up 3-0. The Tigers came in with much more energy in the second period. Adam Brubaker in front, no, but Eric Brown, the team leading scorer a year ago, he's leading the team so far this season. That's his 3rd goal of the year right there. RIT back within 2, but RIT would not stay out of the box, and it cost them again last night. Union, with just 2 seconds remaining on the penalty, Parker Fu gets the rebound, goal pass Short. It's Fu's first collegiate goal right there. Union extended the lead back to 3. Union would get another man advantage opportunity, and they'd capitalize again. J.C. Brassard nets his first of the season, putting it right over the shoulder of Christian Short. A disappointing night for him and the Tigers, for that matter, as Union handed RIT its first loss of the season after a dominating 6-1 victory.
Disappointed is definitely the right word we could use to describe today. Not taking anything away from them; they're a great team and stuff. But you know, we didn't come out the way we wanted to. It was exactly it. They wanted it more than we did tonight, and it's as simple as that. We just didn't come out to play.
You know, it's hard to play when you're not playing in the offensive zone. You're playing the D zone, you know, the whole night because of penalties and stuff like that. And you know, I thought we controlled play for the most part in the 3rd period, but I mean, it was too late by then. So.
2 straight games where penalties have become the story and kind of bit you guys a little bit. Is that a concern moving forward?
Yeah, I think that's been a concern for a couple years now. We just got to make sure we're working extra hard to make sure we're not taking those stick penalties or those stupid penalties, because obviously they can bite you in the butt.
Yeah, it certainly bit the Tigers last night. Union 2 for 5 on the power play, while RIT went 0 for 4 on the man advantage. Eric Brown has been the bright spot for this team in the first 2 games. He scored RIT's lone goal. That's his team leading 3rd, as I mentioned, on the season. The Tigers still have yet to beat Union in the Division I era. They're now 0-6-1. After the game last night, RIT head coach Wayne Wilson said Union simply outcompeted his team, and the Tigers just weren't very sharp in many areas. After what was probably a restless night for many within the program, the Tigers have to get right back at it here tonight against RPI. And the head coach of the Tigers is standing by live now with our John DeTulio. Good evening, John.
Hi, good evening, Kevin. Thank you so much. Wayne, when you look back at the tape, sometimes it's not as bad as you thought while the game was going on. After reviewing the tape, what are your final thoughts from last night?
Yeah, and you're right. I don't think it's ever as bad as what you feel in the game, because you're a little demoralized as it's going on there. But you know, we needed a couple of saves beginning in the game, and that's not to put anything on Shorty. We came back in the second. I thought our first 10 minutes, we got ourselves back in the game. We got a goal, made it 3-1, and then we took 2 poor penalties, and they scored 2 goals, 5-1. It's kind of over at that point. Our 3rd period was our best period. I thought, in particular, our special teams are really, we didn't get the results last night, but I thought really taking shape and doing the things that we're looking for them to do. And I think if they continue in that frame, we'll be in good shape. And line changes, you know, a bad line change for a goal last night. Too many men on the ice twice in the first game, and a bad line change. There's 4 in a 2-game period. We've got to sharpen up on getting on and getting off the ice, and I'll put it at early season games, but we're on our 3rd game now. Enough is enough.
You mentioned penalties, 14 in 2 games. Early in the season, or is it a concern for you?
Well, it was, I think, the first game in particular. This game, it was really the timing of the 2 penalties, and we didn't needless penalties at that point. There were not in dangerous situations where we had to take the penalties. So I'd like to get 2 of them back, and they scored on both of them. So they were costly penalties. It wasn't something we were able to survive, and that's often the case when you take poor penalties, is those are the ones that go in the net.
Drackett was so good for you last Saturday. What do you expect, or what do you want to see from him tonight?
Well, we're hoping that he can continue to make some progress. We thought he played very well in a tough situation. He's coming into a different situation here tonight, but we'd like to get a W here at home, and so we're going to put the ball in his court, and we'll see how he does here tonight.
All right, Wayne, tonight, so what do you think are the keys tonight? When you look at a team that is winless so far, but they played 3 overtime games, what did your team need to do tonight? Well,
I think the same things that we were looking into last night, except doing them better. One is our compete level. We've got to get off to a good start and really be competitive and loose puck type battles. Our special teams and our discipline leading into our special teams has to be real good. We'd like to get our forecheck going last night. I thought Union, not that we didn't get our forecheck going last night, Union prevented us from getting our forecheck last night, and good on them. But tonight we're trying to reestablish our forecheck and create a little flurry, chaos around their goalie, and tighten up defensively. We get to see Regan Sieferling here, his first time as a freshman on D, so we're looking forward to evaluating him as well.
All right, all the best. Good luck tonight. That's head coach Wayne Wilson of the RIT Tigers. Kevin, back to you.
All right, John, it should be another test for RIT. We'll see how they respond after last night's disappointing loss to Union 6-1. Of course, we'll see how RPI responds after that tough overtime loss on the road at Niagara. It should be an interesting matchup, and we are looking forward to it. Puck drops at 7:05 here from the Policini Center. Well, still to come on the program, the RIT women's hockey team wrapped up its weekend series with Yale in dramatic fashion. Highlights are ahead, plus a former Tiger was inducted into the RIT Sports Hall of Fame last weekend. We'll look back on Sarah Dagg's remarkable career at RIT next. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. Welcome back to RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. The corner crew getting ready for a big game tonight. They'll make their presence felt as always as RPI and RIT face off tonight. Well, Kim Bernston is standing by live with the head coach of RPI, Dave Smith. Good evening, Kim.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, Coach, you guys are coming off a tough overtime loss last night to Niagara. How do you regroup and motivate your team after that kind of loss?
Well, our quest isn't defined by the last second of a game last night. You know, we wanted to play better for the first 60 minutes and then in overtime, and it's going to be the same challenge tonight against a good RIT team. We want to play our best hockey every shift.
And now you're in the midst of a 5-game road trip. How tough is it to get into a rhythm when you're on the road, and especially beginning in the season?
Yeah, this is all new coach, new team, new togetherness, and being on the road is actually a great thing. We brought all of our entire roster, and we get to experience the ups and the downs and the meals and the hotels, and we get to do that for the first time, split opponents. So it's all a positive experience and one that we're definitely growing from.
And I know, so early in the season, not a lot of tape to study on RIT, but being familiar with the conference, coaching at Canisius, what are you prepared to see from the Tigers tonight?
Well, I know that they're well coached. They've got active defensemen, and they're going to be a real aggressive team. So I know that we're aware of what they're doing, and we're very focused on what we're trying to do as well.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Kim, thanks so much. We look forward to your reports throughout the evening here tonight. Well, Sarah Dagg is arguably one of the most decorated RIT women's hockey players from the Division III era. Dagg was named Division III's National Player of the Year in 2011 and helped RIT finish her final season as national runner-up. Last weekend, Dagg was inducted into the RIT Sports Hall of Fame, and SportsZone's Colin Friday has the story.
Sarah Dagg enjoyed an illustrious career at RIT's women's hockey team.
How does it feel to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame here at RIT?
It's an honor, for sure. There's so many people that I'd like to thank. You never really get to thank your parents enough for everything they do as you're growing up. I mean, countless weekends, weeknights, every night you can imagine they're taking me to hockey practice or a hockey game. So it's just nice to officially say thank you in front of people and just show your appreciation.
You were the all-time leading scorer for RIT women's hockey. You made an impact on them. What kind of an impact did it make on you, though?
A huge impact. RIT kind of shaped who I am today. I was not the same person back then as I am now. I've grown. I loved to be a part of a team, and I worked hard even back when I played hockey. I think it's my parents that instilled that in me, but RIT, I really kind of flourished here.
Is there any advice you could give to some of the younger players that are in the program now, looking ahead towards real life after college?
In life, you experience challenges. Life doesn't go according to plan, and you know what? At playing a sport, it doesn't either. You have hardships. You might lose a game. You might lose a championship, and you just got to move on. Like a lot of the guys said downstairs, you can't just define one moment, a loss or something like that. You have to look past that and work harder to come back stronger.
Your senior year, you guys made it all the way to the national championship, come up a little bit short. Year after that, they win it. Year after that, they move on to D1. Does it sting a little bit to not have been able to have been a part of that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I wish I would have won when we had the chance to win, but looking at the whole picture and women's hockey has grown tremendously over the last 10 years. When I came to RIT, we were supposed to go D1 much sooner than what we did, and I wished I would have been able to play D1, but you need to have a strong base, and you need to win, and you need to have a good team to move on and play at that level. And I think a lot of the girls that I played with in all my years, it kind of all led up to moving to Division I and winning a championship. I'm so happy for the girls now that get to come here and play at this beautiful rink, play Division I. All the girls leading up to that, even girls way before me, like Jen Grinsky that played many years ago, that helped the program move to where it is now.
I believe Cassie Clayton will get credit for that. What a career and what an impact Sarah Dagg had on the RIT women's hockey team. She remains the all-time leader in points at RIT with 154. She ranks first in assists with 91 all-time. Her goal tally puts her 5th on the all-time list, while maybe her most impressive stat of all, shorthanded goals. She had 9 during her 4-year career here, and that is tied for the top spot with her former teammate, Katie Stack. Well, meanwhile, the RIT women's hockey team, they were on the ice this weekend, wrapping up their weekend series with Yale and trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Tigers still looking for that first win on home ice this season, and we have the highlights for you from earlier today. We pick up the action midway through the first period. Tigers would get on the board, a scramble in front of the net. The puck squirts out to Tori Haywood, who slips it past Tara Hoffman. RIT had a 1-0 lead. Yale tied the game in the second, so the Tigers and Bulldogs would go to overtime, and just 30 seconds in, we're giving it away, but that's okay. Kendall Cornine in the right place at the right time. The backhander goes for the game winner. RIT snaps its 3-game slide today, winning 2-1 in overtime. Tara Latan, in her first start of the season, she made 40 big saves. The women's hockey team will be back here at the Policini Center next weekend when they begin conference play against Lindenwood. Come out and be part of the action by purchasing your seats today at RITtickets.com. Well, still to come tonight, John and Jean join us to give their thoughts on tonight's non-conference matchup between the Tigers and Engineers. You're watching RIT Sports Zone Pre-Game Live.
Tigers are going to change on the fly, get this in really quick, is racing up the ice, opportunity, and a goal right through. 1-0 Union as the Tigers get caught in a line change. Union controlling the puck here. Verduck is joining the defense here. Puck pinballing around. Now it will come along the near side. Shot off the post. No, they're going to put the red light on. A bad angle goal for Union. It's now 2-0. That's an even strength goal. Yeah. 2-0 hole here, a little over 6 minutes remaining. Here's a shot. It's a 3-0 lead. Campolieto with the goal, his first of the season, and now Union up to a 3-0 lead. Now the opportunity for the Tigers in front is joining the attack. Was Brubaker, and it'll trickle in. And the Tigers have cut the lead to 3-1 as Brown will get his third of the year. 7 seconds remaining, held in by Broussard. Broussard, the shot in front, the rebound, and put back in. Puck was sitting right there, and the goal, the freshman, Parker Fu, the draft pick of Chicago, his first goal of the season, and that does come on the power play with 2 seconds remaining. They'll find Taylor in the shot. Save made by Short, and then Short lost his footing and it's put back in. So Christian Short never got the handle on it, and now it is 6-1.
Yeah, if you're just joining us here tonight on RIT SportsZone Pregame Live, you just saw how Union skated to a convincing 6-1 victory over the Tigers last night. If you miss any home games this season, we've got you covered. You can watch the highlights on our website, ritsc.com. Just click on the Hockey Central button. Well, tonight RPI is in town to face the Tigers. The Engineers come in after suffering that 4-3 overtime loss at Niagara down the thruway last night. While it's RPI's first trip to the Policini Center, these two teams have met 7 times in the past. RPI leads the series with a 6-1 record. Last year, RIT rallied from a 3-1 second period deficit only to lose 6-3. The Tigers' lone victory came all the way back in 1986. Well, there's no question that Chase and Brady Norrish are the heart and soul of the Tigers' blue line. Losing them both to injury last season was devastating, both on the ice and in the locker room. Last night, Coach Wilson disclosed to us that Brady has re-injured his ACL and may miss the season depending on what the doctors say next week. Joined now by John DeTulio, who had the chance to sit down with the Norrish twins prior to Brady going down in practice with an injury again. John, it was a long road back for both of these guys in the offseason, but as much as their absence hurt the team, it certainly helped a lot of the young blue liners who had to step in and be ready on the fly.
You're right, Kevin. That would probably be the one positive, is that there's a lot of players that earn valuable ice time when Chase and Brady both went down. But let's face it, expectations were high, but those expectations were shattered as their NCAA tournament hopes were when both Brady twins went down with the same injury.
With the Norrish twins, this is your top power play unit this year. Oh, from way out! That's the co-captain. Number 8, Chase Norrish, has tied the game.
What are the odds 2 brothers never get hurt, get the same injury, the same exact injury?
Pretty unheard of, safe to say. Yeah, I've never heard of it happening, but I'm not really sure. We've just scratched our heads a little bit, and could be genetic or something like that, but who knows? It just it happened, and that's it.
I remember getting a text from my mom the day he did his, and she was obviously disappointed and unhappy, but I think the word she said was, "Why do you have to do everything together?"
Did you guys then, I guess, rehab together then? I guess if you're going to go through a major injury, you know what? You hate to see it happen to your family member, but did that help going through it with your brother, the rehab?
Yeah, I think it helped quite a bit. Obviously, we've been this far together. You know, we've always kind of done things together, so it was weird that we were rehabbing at the same time. But yeah, it definitely helped us for sure. I was kind of playing catch up a little bit because he did get hurt before I did, but. Yeah, it was it helped us kind of push ourselves and stay on track and just make sure that we were being smart and making sure that we were coming back ready to play.
That's kind of been our whole lives. We've always been pushing each other and stuff like that. So, I mean, when you're doing rehab together, you're trying to push each other again just to get that much stronger, get back to where we were.
And how frustrating was it for both of you to see this team, which many picked to be the first in the league, to watch the season end the way it did? And how frustrating was that for you?
Can Niagara steal this? Redeker scores!
Frustrating is probably an understatement. I mean, just not be able to play and help out your team like that's struggling at a hard time is just, yeah, frustrating. Doesn't even begin to explain something like that.
It becomes very difficult as a captain when you're in street clothes to come in between periods and say anything to the players because you're not playing. There's nothing you can do about it.
As the season has come to an end for these RIT Tigers.
I think for anybody who's gotten hurt and have to watch your team kind of struggle a little bit and not perform as best as we could, I think it's hard to watch for anybody. It is what it is. You know, you battle through it and you come back as prepared as you can and you just move forward and you get excited to play.
when you're looking for positives out of everything, I think we're a better team because of it.
Out this goes. Crouper didn't take it, and it scores! That's the first collegiate goal for Darren Brady.
A lot of young defensemen got a lot of quality ice time and are making decisions very, very difficult this year because of the improvement and the ice time that they were able to receive to make us a better team.
I mean, we're just really excited to have the group of guys that we do this year. Our goal set this year is just to focus on, you know, starting one period at a time and one shift at a time and just go from there.
Chase Norris, the feed in! 6th of the season for Chase Norris, and the Tigers are on the board.
Game on.
Well, thanks very much, Kevin. And John, as you take a look at the defense for the Tigers, I think Wayne Wilson said it. You have Darren Brady, you have Adam Brubaker, you have Matt App, you have depth on the blue line.
There's no question, but the fact remains when those two went down last year, it affected so many things. It affected their back end, it affected their special teams. And according to Wayne, they will leave a legacy beyond what I think people understand. The year since they went Division I, maybe two of the best defensemen he's had. It includes guys like Chris Tanev, who's in the NHL, but Wayne loves both of these kids. But losing now Brady for the year, devastating for that blue line.
John, can a goaltender give his team energy?
No question. I think sometimes you're as good as your goalie. We have seen RIT make runs in the NCAA. Let's face it, great goaltending, you can ride that a long way. And when you're off, it's like a pitcher. Sometimes a pitcher can pick a team up when they're not hitting and when they're not playing well defensively and they're having line-changing problems. Sometimes that's when a goalie can camouflage some of your issues. We've got to see that again tonight from Draken. We saw it last Saturday, taking all those penalties. He bailed them out, played extremely well. Got to see it again tonight.
For the RPI Engineers coming in here, first time at the Policini. You know, a veteran team back on the blue line. Their team captain, Jared Wilson, our player to watch. Wilson has been a mainstay on that blue line since his freshman year.
Talk with Wayne, gritty, tough, this team. They make you earn it. It's like, you know, Union, a little bit like to get up and down a little bit. RIP, a little bit more physical. He expects a very physical game tonight. There's no question about it. Now, this team has played 3 games this year, and every game has gone to overtime, including the one they lost last night to Niagara.
For the RIT Tigers, the offense has only come from 2 players so far. Miles Powell with 1 goal, but 3 goals, including 1 last night. Eric Brown. Brown using that big frame, Johnny.
You know, we remember Tyler Brenner, that same kind of frame who played here years ago. They put him in front of the net. He's a tough kid to move. It led him in scoring last year, and he's off to a flying start this year. Number 16, a key player to watch for RIT tonight.
Well, the Tigers, here's an opportunity for RIT to get their first win of the season. What has to happen tonight?
Well, I mean, it starts with got to play smart. You got to have a better start. I mean, we saw them lay an egg in the first. This game was over after the first 20 for the most part. Keep it clean. 14 penalties in 2 games. Let's get those line changes. Let's quit getting too many men on the ice. And if you're RPI, that means no overtime. No overtime. Can't go to another overtime game, right? 4 for 4. There are 2 ties against Ohio State, and then they lost last night at Niagara.
Yeah, so this will be a good one here, Kevin. Whenever you're taking on an ECAC game, an opponent tonight, Tigers will have their hands full.
A little worried about a Penn State game tonight, so he certainly doesn't want to see overtime, and we're hoping that we don't as well. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you at the top of the hour. The lights are out, and that means it's almost time for us to get out of here and give it back to John and Gene so they can bring you all the action. We'll do that next. This is RIT Sports Zone Pre-Game Live. Welcome back to RIT Sports Zone Pregame Live. The popcorn is hot and ready to go, and so are the RIT Tigers and RPI as we are closing in on game time between the Tigers and Engineers. If you're just joining us tonight, Logan Drackett will get the start in net for RIT. The freshman made his debut last Saturday, making 41 saves in a tie with Northeastern. RIT's got to see if he's the guy with conference play beginning next weekend at Army. RPI, on the other hand, comes in winless as well after dropping a 4-3 decision to Niagara last night in overtime. We're hoping for a good one here tonight. Our next live broadcast comes up in a couple of weeks, Friday, November 3rd, when American International comes to town for a weekend series here at the Policini Center. Please note that this will be live on RITSE.com that night beginning at 6:30 with RIT Sports Zone Pregame Live. The broadcast will be delayed on CW Rochester. That'll start airing at 10 o'clock on the 3rd. If you've never been out to a campus for a game here at RIT, come join us sometime this season. You can purchase tickets to RIT men's and women's hockey games by visiting the Gene Policini Center box office Monday through Friday from 10 to 6 by calling 475-4121 or visiting RITtickets.com. Well, that does it for another edition of RIT Sports Zone Pregame Live. Thanks so much for watching. Up next, RIT and RPI. We'll see you back here at intermission. RIT Sports Zone Live begins now.